Hi, this is Michael Logechi Abu with Enterprise Express Tax. The IRS has started their filing season today, January the 23rd, but I have had a lot of questions this year about cryptocurrency, and I thought I'd just say a few things about those who have had cryptocurrencies and what the IRS's stand is on cryptocurrency. So let's get started. First off, the IRS has made it clear, and I'm going to be looking at my notes just to make sure that I am giving you the right information. The IRS has made it clear that they are going to increase audits on taxpayers that are involved in crypto. And the reason, of course, is because cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and blockchain, it's been a bit of a vague gray area for the IRS. And the feeling is that a lot of bad actors have taken advantage of this and used cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, and other means of virtual exchanges to commit, financial crimes. And of course, we've seen in the news that a lot of people have been apprehended recently, um, and have been, they pretty much have been made examples of by the IRS and the United States government. And they're trying to send a very strong message to anyone who trades in cryptocurrency that you have to be careful. You have to report cryptocurrency earnings as income. The IRS regards cryptocurrency as a capital asset, meaning that if you trade or exchange cryptocurrency for gain, it is considered by the IRS as income. So that's a fact. So don't let anybody tell you that cryptocurrency, any trading or any gains made when you trade cryptocurrency is not regarded as income. That's a flat out lie. Okay. So, there is a question, or there was a question on the 2021 1040 that says, at any time during 2021, did you receive, sell, exchange, or otherwise dispose of any financial interest in any? Remember here, it says any virtual currency. So it doesn't just single out cryptocurrency. It any includes Bitcoin or any other currency that is considered virtual currency, in other words, also would be considered a capital asset. And that question is also going to be on the current 2022 1040 as well. So it's not going anywhere. If anything, it may even get more intrusive as the years go by, as the IRS continues to try and, you know, make sure that they get a hold of cryptocurrency and people not trying to pay taxes on cryptocurrency trading or gains. All right. How does the IRS define cryptocurrency? The IRS says a cryptocurrency is an example of a convertible virtual currency that can be used as payment for goods and services that is digitally traded between users and exchanged for or into real currency or digital assets. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, but in essence, what the IRS is saying is that cryptocurrency is a trading vehicle that can be traded for gain and is considered a capital asset, and that gain will be considered income. As long as you're a U.S. citizen, anywhere in the world where you trade cryptocurrency for gain, it is considered as income. So what you're seeing now is that a lot of the big time cryptocurrency exchanges, Coinbase, for example, have decided to toe the line. And if you trade on Coinbase and you trade with cryptocurrency, it's very likely that they're going to send you before January the 31st a 1099, a Form 1099 DIV, or and a Form 1099B. And these are the forms that are used to show how much virtual currency tradings that you did and other investment stock tradings as well. But it will also include virtual currencies as well. And these forms, remember that these forms are also, copies are also sent to the IRS, and the copy is sent to you as well. So the IRS knows what's going on probably before you even do. You get a copy as well. And the expectation is that you take that copy to your tax accountant or yourself, and you file those earnings. In 2014, the IRS issued a notice 2014-21. There's some other numbers after that, but I'm not going to go into that. Explaining that virtual currency is treated as property for federal income tax purposes, and providing examples of how long-standing tax principles that were applicable to transactions involving property apply also to virtual currency. So the IRS is pretty much treating virtual currency or cryptocurrency just like any other stock that you might sell or buy on any exchange, whether it's for gain or whether it's for loss. The IRS does use the term virtual currency to describe various types of convertible virtual currency that are used as a medium of exchange. So again, the IRS is just emphasizing that as long as it's used as a medium of exchange, all right, it will consider any trade of those exchange of that currency, and if there's a gain, that will be considered income. And if it's a loss as well, it's that's represented on your tax return as a loss. All right, a little deeper here. Cryptocurrency is a type of virtual currency that uses cryptography to secure transactions that are digitally recorded on a distributed ledger such as blockchain. A transaction that involves cryptocurrency, it's recorded on a distributed ledger and is referred to as an on-chain transaction. A transaction that is not recorded on a distributed ledger is referred to as an off-chain transaction. We're not going to go into too much details here because it can get pretty technical, for lack of a better word. But cryptocurrencies and blockchains, they tend to almost go hand in hand, even though they're not quite the same thing. But I would refer you somewhere else to do some more research on what blockchain is and what cryptocurrency and how they kind of work hand in hand. There is some technicality to this because there's a term that's called mining, where cryptocurrency has to be mined. And that's a whole different technical area that I do not want to go in at all. So we're just sticking to what cryptocurrency is and how the IRS sees cryptocurrency and how that impacts your tax return if you are involved in cryptocurrency trading. The IRS says that when you sell virtual currency, which could be cryptocurrency, you must recognize any capital gain or loss on the sale. Recognizing meaning that it has to be reported. Whether you lose money or whether you make money, it has to be reported if it's a virtual currency like cryptocurrency. Subject to any limitations on the deductibility of capital losses. So if you have a capital asset and you sell a capital asset, for instance, if you have a home, investment property, and you sell it and you lose money on it, there is a possibility that on the Schedule E of your tax form, you could take that as a deduction, okay? Because the IRS recognizes cryptocurrency as a capital asset, the same rule applies to cryptocurrency. If you sell and you lose money on cryptocurrency, there's a possibility that it is deductible. The IRS says that if your only transactions involving virtual currency during 2021 were purchases of virtual currency with real currency, then you are not required to answer yes to the Form 1040 question. Again, that's a little bit more technical than I really want to go into, so let's skip that and let's go a little bit further. If you held virtual currency for 1 year or less before selling or exchanging the virtual currency, then you will have a short-term capital gain or loss. Now it starts getting into the nitty-gritty, but it really follows the same guidelines as if you had a capital asset. So your tax professional should be able to handle this pretty much. When you sell a capital asset, if you sold it within a short time frame, it's considered, for instance, a short-term capital gain or short-term capital loss. And if you held that capital asset over a longer time frame, it's considered a long-term capital gain or a long-term capital loss. Okay. Um, let's take a look at self-employment income, for instance. Now, self-employment income generally includes all gross income that's received by an individual from any trade or business that's carried on by the individual other than an employee. In other words, not a W-2 employee. So if you get a 1099 as a contractor, or you have a business, you have an LLC where you earn money from, the IRS considers you to be a self-employed person. Now, can you get paid with cryptocurrency as a self-employed person? And will that be considered income to the IRS? Yes. The answer is yes. It will be considered income. Consequently, this is per the IRS, the fair market value of virtual currency that's received for services performed as an independent contractor that's measured in US dollars as of the date of receipt will constitute self-employment income and is subject to the self-employment tax. In short, if you work for someone as a self-employed person and they give you a 1099 form, but they pay you in cryptocurrency or any other kind of virtual currency, that will be considered self-employed income and you will be taxed at the self-employment tax rate, at the self-employed tax rate. Okay. How does the IRS know that you own cryptocurrency? Well, pretty simple. The same way that when you work for a company and they pay you with a W-2, well, how does the IRS know that you got paid? That company sends the W-2 or a copy of that W-2 goes to the IRS, and then the company also sends you a copy of the W-2. And the IRS pretty much knows what you earned because they have copies of all your earnings for the entire tax year. That's the way it works. It's a rule that the IRS has to have copies of those W-2s and those 1099s. And so when you get your copy, what you're supposed to do is file your return with your copies. And what the IRS does is they cross-check, of course, their systems do it, and ensures that everything that you have reported matches what they have in their system. The same goes for cryptocurrency. A large number of the crypto exchanges, I'm going to use Coinbase as an example again, have already confirmed that they do report to the IRS. There was a case back in 2016 that the IRS won. It was called the John Doe summons against Coinbase. And the John Doe summons now is a reference point. It compels a given exchange, like Coinbase, to exchange or to share user data with the IRS so that it can be used to identify and audit taxpayers, as well as to prosecute those who are evading taxes. So there's no way around this. I mean, the IRS is I liken the IRS like a ship, a massive ship that takes a long time to turn. But when they do turn and get on a particular direction, man, they're really going to go hard um, in order to make sure that they get their money. Okay, so all exchanges now report to the IRS, and anyone that doesn't is certainly going to be considered a fraudulent exchange. And so any cryptocurrency that you are trading in as a U.S. citizen or a U.S. green card holder is subject to United States taxes. Something important here for 2022, it's possible that you may be able to avoid paying taxes when selling your cryptocurrency if your table income is less than or equal to $41,675. There are a few caveats here. If you file as a single person, married filing separately, or your taxable income is less than or equal to $83,350 if you file jointly as a married couple. So, talk to your accountant or your CPA or your tax preparer and have them look at the scenario and check and ensure and see if it's possible that you fall into this category as a cryptocurrency payer, where you may possibly not have to pay taxes when selling your cryptocurrency. All right. This was a summary. This wasn't a deep dive. It was not intended to be a deep dive. Cryptocurrency is still evolving. And when it comes to taxes and cryptocurrency, it's a deep subject and it's probably going to get deeper as well. But it's not going away. So we need to know about these things. I'm just doing a very, very quick overview of cryptocurrency and taxes. I certainly hope this helps you understand better how to handle cryptocurrency and taxes. But as always, don't take my word for it. Talk to your accountant, talk to your tax preparer, talk to your CPA. They should be able to guide you in the right way. Once again, my name is Michael Abbey with Enterprise Express Tax Service. We do taxes in all 50 states of the United States. We are a virtual company, and we're here to serve you and ensure that you get the best service in terms of tax preparation and financial services. Bye.